everyone, this is Instructor A. In this short video, we'll learn about directly boundary conditions. These are situations where the value of our function is fixed at the boundaries. In our example later, both ends of a rod are kept at zero temperature. We'll solve a heat equation problems step by step. The goal is to make it simple and clear so you can understand how Fourier sine helps us find solutions to partial differential equations, or simply the Fourier sine help us solve the heat equation problem under directly boundary conditions. Okay? Binibigyan po tayo ng DE, ng BC, and the IC. Ano yung mga yon? The DE is the differential equation in the form of U sub T equals KU sub XX. The BC is the boundary condition in the form of U of 0, t equals U of L, t equals 0. And of course, to complete the given, magbibigay rin ng IC, the initial condition, in a form of U of x, 0 equals f of x. Now, to solve this problem, we need to follow the general solution formula. The general solution, ito ay U of x, t equals the summation of b sub n e raised to negative quantity of n pi over L squared times kt multiplied by sine n pi x over L as n ranges from positive 1 to positive infinity. But take note, hindi natin yan masosolve kapag wala tayong b sub n or the Fourier sine formula. So b sub n is equivalent to 2 over L times the definite integral f of x sine n pi x over L dx from 0 to L. Okay, let's try to solve the initial value problem considering that our DE is u sub t equals 3u sub xx and our domain is x less than 2 but greater than 0, t is greater than 0. We're actually solving the partial derivative of u with respect to t, time. And the u sub xx means the second partial derivative of u with respect to position x. The constant 3 here, binulugan ko po yan, is our diffusion coefficient or thermal diffusivity. It shows how fast heat spreads. Kumbaga, ito ay isang number na depende sa material. Mas malaking value ng K, mas mabilis kumalat ang init, like kapag gumamit daw tayo ng rod na tanso or copper. Mas maliit na value ng K, mas mabagal kumalat ang init, like sa example na binigay ay kapag gumamit daw tayo ng kahoy. Okay? The domain, which is less than 2 but greater than 0, means the rod's length is 2 units. And the t, which is greater than 0, means we are actually looking at times after the start. Okay? And given also again is the BC, of course, in the form of U of 0, t equals U of 2, t equals 0. This condition means that at x equals 0 and at x equals 2, the temperature is always 0. No matter how heat spreads inside, the ends remain fixed. Again, no matter how heat spreads inside, the ends remain fixed. Kaya, nag-generate po ako ng figure ng example ng rod dyan. So, the length of the rod is 2. Pansinin nyo, at x equals 0, ang ano niya ay 0 degrees Celsius. At x equals 2, parehas sila, 0 degrees Celsius. Kahit gaano kainit yan, ang dulo sa dulo remain fixed. Okay? Given as well is the initial condition, u of x, 0 equals 20. Ano ibig sabihin ng given na yan? Sa madaling salita, habang kumakalat or habang tumatagal, kumakalat ang init. In this case, our init is 20 degrees Celsius. Kumakalat ang init papunta sa mga dulo ng rod hanggang sa tuluyan itong lumamig. Yan. Yan mismo ang ibig sabihin ng directly boundary conditions. Ang mga halaga sa dulo ay nakapirmi or fixed siya at doon umiikot ang buong solusyon. Okay, let's solve a problem. Given that our K is 3 and L is 2, of course, don't forget our formula, the general solution in the form of u, x, comma, t equals itong buo na to na nasa right side of the equation. But take note, we cannot complete that kapag wala tayong ma-plug in na value ng b sub n. Itong binilugan ko po. So, we must solve that first. But the important thing here is, meron na tayong masasubstitute sa ating L because our L is 2, so may malalagay na tayong 2 dyan sa ilalim. And the K also, which is equivalent to 3, meron na rin tayong 3. So, let's solve first the B sub n for the Fourier sine. So, B sub n is equal to 2 over L times the definite integral f of x times sine n pi x divided by L dx from 0 to L. Di ba meron na nga tayong L which is 2? Ayan, na-substitute ko na siya. Ang problema dito, saan na naman tayo kukuha ng f of x? Take note that in directly condition sa ating initial condition, nakalagay doon na u of x, 0 is equal to f of x. In our case, ang ating initial condition ay u of x, 0 equals 20. So therefore, ang ipa-plug in natin na f of x is equivalent to 20. Kaya naka-purple siya dyan. Naka-plug in na ako. Meron na tayong value ng f of x. And copy all. Copy lang. Palitan lang ang L, which is 2. So, in the third step here, 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Yun lang binago ko dyan. Detailed solution tayo, guys. Okay? Dito naman sa pang-apat, paano ko ba isosolve yung the integral of sine n pi x over 2 dx? So, nirecall ko muna yung integral natin. And may nakita ako doon na equivalent niya. The integral of sine ax is equal to negative 1 over a cosine ax plus c. Take note ha, ang nasa labas lang ay negative 1 over a, hindi kasama ang x. So, dito, malilet natin that our a, therefore, is this n pi over 2. Itong n pi over 2 lang. Okay? So, this becomes b sub n equals 20 times. We need to evaluate now the definite integral. Since this is negative 1 over a, so this is negative 1 over n pi over 2. Since this is cosine ax, cosine, then cosine na rin ito. Cosine, and our ax is n pi x over 2 from 0 to 2. That becomes, naka-arrow pa ako guys, that becomes, ano bang binago ko dito? Okay. Then divide ko yung 1 or negative 1 divided by 1 half. And negative 1 divided by 1 half is negative 2. So, yun lang na bago dito na part. Negative 2. So, next thing, ito, kinapi ko muna to. B sub n equals 20 times negative 2 over n pi cosine n pi x over 2 from 0 to 2. Ang ginawa ko dyan ay nilabas ko yung negative 2 over n pi. So, dahil nilabas ko siya at may 20 pa sa labas, 2 times negative 20 is negative 40 n pi times cosine n pi x over 2 from 0 to 2. Bakit ko siya nilabas? Kasi mag-i-evaluate ako ng definite integral eh. Mas maigi ng konti lang yung term, no? So, again, sige, let's continue. Negative 40 over n pi times. This is definite integral. So, alam natin to that dapat ang gawin natin, i-minus natin yung higher limit minus lower limit. Ganon. So, yung pinalitan dito yung x. Instead of writing x, that becomes 2 now because that is our higher limit. So, 2 over 2 minus, sa kabila naman, cosine, our limit, lower limit is 0. So, this is 0 over 2. What happened here is, pwede kong i-cancel ang 2 dito. So, that becomes negative 40 over n pi, copy lang. Pero itong first term natin sa loob ay naging cosine n pi na lang, minus. This is 0, right? 0 times any number or any variable is equivalent to 0. So, 0 divided by 2 is 0. That is equal to, b sub n equals negative 40 over n pi times the quantity of cosine n pi minus the cosine 0. If you will use your calculator there, make sure na naka-degree mode siya. That is equivalent to 1. So, naging cosine n pi minus 1. Ngayon, actually, to be honest, dito ako na-stop eh. Ano na gagawin ko dyan? Cosine n pi minus 1. So, take note, kailangan ko siyang makuha, no? Yung cosine n pi, papaano ko to masisimplify? So, cosine n pi, binalikan ko yung formula at di ba yung n natin, nabanggit ko kanina, n ranges from positive 1 to positive infinity. So, kumuha ako ng mga values ng 1, 2, 3, 4, value siya ng n. Actually, mas marami, mas better para makita talaga natin yung pattern. Pero, hindi na kasya sa PowerPoint ko, guys. So, at n equals 1, cosine n pi becomes cosine 1 times pi equals cosine pi. Tapos, pag gumamit kayo ng calculator, i-plug nyo, don't forget na naka-radian siya kasi pi ito. So, cosine pi is negative 1. At n equals 2, cosine 2 pi is positive 1. At n equals 3, cosine 3 pi is negative 1. At n equals 4, cosine 4 pi is positive 1. Nakita nyo ba ang pattern? Ayan. So, binilugan ko ang pattern. Alternate siya, negative 1, positive 1, negative 1, positive 1. So, therefore, we can rewrite the cosine n pi to the quantity of negative 1 raised to n. So, ito na yun siya. Pwede na nating isulat as b sub n equals negative 40 over n pi times, instead of writing cosine n pi, that becomes the quantity of negative 1 raised to n minus 1. Ngayon, dahil may negative sa labas, dinistribute ko ngayon. Okay? So, itong nasa loob, naging negative of negative 1, 1 raised to n. Tapos, negative times negative, positive 1. So, yung nasa loob natin, medyo tricky na siya. Medyo tricky nga. Negative times negative 1 raised to n plus 1. Recall. Ano to eh? Exponent loss. Di ba merong negative 1 ito? Yan. Negative 1 dyan. Kaso hindi na natin sinusulat yan. So, equivalent yan as negative 1 times the quantity of negative 1 raised to n equals. Pwede natin siyang isulat ngayon as the quantity of negative 1 raised to n plus 1. Ma'am, saan galing yung 1? Bakit nagkaroon bigla ng n plus 1? Ito po. Ito guys ay meron talaga yang exponent na 1. Lahat naman ng integers, positive, negative. Pag wala kayo nakita exponent na 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, meron yan matic na exponent. That's positive 1. So, since same base sila, pwede natin silang i-add. The answer is n plus 1. Okay? So, ngayon, the final form of Fourier sine is b sub n equals 40 over n pi times the quantity of negative 1 raised to n plus 1 plus 1. So, kompleto na yung ating Fourier sine. Pwede na natin siyang i-plug in sa ating general form. Ayan, naka-purple po ang aking value ng b sub n. So, our general form is u of x comma t equals the summation of itong ating b sub n na naka-purple times itong e raised to negative quantity of n pi over 2 squared times 3t sine n pi over x equals 2. N pi x over 2. And the solution to the problem is this one. The final solution, u of x comma t equals 40 over pi times the summation of 1 over n. Kasi nilabas ko yung 40 over pi. Constant sila, pwede sila ilabas. Times 1 over n times negative 1 quantity raised to n plus 1 multiplied by e raised to negative 3. Ito, dinistribute ko yung ating squared. So, naging n squared, pi squared over 4 multiplied by t times sine n pi x over 2. To sum it up, directly boundary conditions are fixed values at boundary.